Here, fam, you want to get yourself all mad up as well? You know this is coming from CNN. Here we go.
You've said that you believe that people with felony records should be allowed to vote while in prison. Does this mean that you would support enfranchising people like the Boston Marathon bomber, a convicted terrorist and murderer? Do you think that those convicted of sexual assault should have the opportunity to vote for politicians who could have a direct impact on women's rights?
Here is my view. If somebody commits a serious crime, sexual assault, murder, they're going to be punished. They may be in jail for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, their whole lives. That's what happens when you commit a serious crime. But I think the right to vote is inherent to our democracy. Yes, even for terrible people. Because once you start chipping away and you say, well, that guy committed a terrible crime, not going to let him vote. Or that person did that, not going to let that person vote. You're running down a slippery slope. So I believe that people who commit crimes, they pay the price. When they get out of jail, I believe they certainly should have the right to vote. But I do believe that even if they are in jail, they're paying their price to society, but that should not take away their inherent American right to participate in our democracy.
Bam. I know this to me, I don't like this one at all. I don't even know why CNN is bringing this out to light, because it's a discussion within, progressives, I think, within their liberal bubble. But when it comes to the general election, I think they're going to use this as, hey, man, these Democrats, they want even murderers to have the right to vote, and they shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to hurt us in the long run. I hate this line of questioning.
I disagree. I think this is great, because I think it speaks to Bernie's humanitarian side. Like, it doesn't matter. You're already paying your debt to society. You made a mistake. You are repenting. You still have this right as a human being. Again, you're still a person to exercise your opinion of who should be president. And actually, because I've read a lot about how prisoners and people go to jail, they actually, when it's a type of system that rehabilitates them, they actually are able to move forward and come away from the criminal backgrounds that they have, and they are able to actually make a change. And a lot of these people get out and they are actually movers and shakers in activist communities and in societies, many of them gang members. So I absolutely think we should. And if we had the prison population, or people who have been wrongfully accused, or people who have been minutes from death row and who have been in jail in the criminal justice system, and they come out and vote, they're going to vote differently than someone who's an elitist corporatist tool of the establishment. And that is going to help progressives push the movement forward. It's going to help us actually get people like Bernie Sanders out into the White House. We should be able to maybe someday have a felon, someone like Chelsea Manning, be in the White House. Why? Yeah. Because they committed a crime, yes, but the law isn't always just, and the law does not equal morality. So
I think that's a great point, too, and that makes us dive more into the discussion of criminal justice reform and whatnot, and how easily people are being jailed. And I love the fact the senator said it's a slippery slope when you go into that, and I agree with it. However, I'm just very much on my general election antennas are like, okay, wait, this is something that the Republicans are going to use against us. And even the fact that the way they allowed CNN person to the person who asked the question, oh, you're going to let somebody like the Boston bomber vote and stuff like that?
They go to the extremes.
They set up that bear trap that I think it's going to come back to haunt us. Do I disagree with the senator's answers? No way. I love the fact he went down that and he talked about it. Because the most important part, fam, is the slippery slope. We start doing this, we start moving the goal lines. Now some kid who got busted from smoking marijuana in the street's not going to be able to vote next time.
Right.
At what point? And then a bunch of elitists, which we all agree with, a lot of us, that a lot of rules are made or laws are made just so the rich can steal from the poor. Right. They'll even furthermore hold an advantage over the poor by taking away their voice now.
Right, but I feel like they're already taking away people's voices. So this is like the time to do it, because a lot of the Republicans push these these laws that prevent you from voting, and this is also going to force the Democrats to be like, oh yeah, you want fair election integrity? Okay, then it has to be all around fair election integrity, from the Democratic side all the way to the Republican side. In fact, this kind of forces them to kind of walk the walk instead of just talking the talk, because now they have to hold themselves accountable too.